Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Jeremy with Phat Airlines. It is nice to be here today. Nice to see you all today. Hope you all doing great. I'm having a great day, and excited to do a stream today with you guys. Today we're going to talk about World Airports 3.0.3. 3.0.3 came with a few updates. Actually, as a matter of fact, I think today we're going to play with sounds on from the game. So I might turn off my music. I might turn off the music in the game because they didn't really change the music in the game. But we'll read through the patch notes. We'll look through some of the one recommendation suggestion that was shared with somebody shared with me that I thought was a really cool suggestion. I want to read from the forum, and I want you guys to also make sure you guys share your thoughts. Yo, Voitando, thank you for 26 months, bro. Appreciate that. Thanks for being first as well. And what's up to everybody else? How y'all doing? What's up, Kamikaze? Thank you for 20 months. Let me take a look at the chats here. We got Voitando here. We got Noodle here. We got Varaxis here. We got Hockey Fan, Codell Rosario, TJ Adam Cack, Seabird Club, Fleeting Negligence, Hammy. What's up, Hammy? Nice to see you. Who else? Nice. Roll off B. We got James. We got Dry. We got BV. BV, don't spam, bro. We got James. We got Jav from Australia. We got Chimera. We got Toy Muffin Player. X Best. Very cool. Nice to see y'all. We are going to go first. Today we're gonna play some LHR, some London Heathrow on my stream only account, which is Phat Empire. You can see it on the top left there. And then we're gonna go over to San Diego. At San Diego, we're level 49. We are so close. We have to get to level 54 to unlock Muscat. So we're so close, and I need to make sure I play that airport a lot more frequently. And then here at LHR, we're also pretty close. We're level 76, and we need 81 to get to Sydney. So both of these airports we're really close on. We also have Prague Airport, but Prague we got a long way to go. But the only way you can level up the airport is by playing it, right? So we're gonna play that maybe next week. Yo, TJ, thank you for resubscribing, bro. Appreciate that. Thanks for all the support, guys. But let's start with the patch notes, because everybody loves some good patch notes, right? So here, World Airports Update 3.0.3 came out about 3 days ago, which is May 28th. So 3 days ago from this live stream, right? And they added new features. So we got a fly view. We can follow any airplane during flight via the new radar feature. Have you guys used this? I know they showed us a couple of in a couple of dev blogs, they showed us some previews. I think this is pretty cool. It's they had to do a workaround so that way it's not like live geography, but I still think it's pretty interesting and cool to watch sometimes. Especially like the fact is, like, you don't have to wait for your plane to be in your airport in order to look at it, or somebody else's. If it's in your airport, you can look at it in 3D mode. And now, even if it's not in your airport and it's like flying, then you could still look at it. So I think that's pretty cool. We got the Embraer E-Jet family refurbishment with the E170, E175, E190, E190F, that's new, right? And the E195, that's also new. Nice. We got turnable wheels added to all airplane models. 91 new or refurbished real airline liveries. They have a list on the forum. There's 80 new or refurbished custom liveries for the Embraer family. There's 5 new destinations. Livery name revisions in Woapedia. And there's new UI features. So there's a confirmation dialog for contract cancellations. I like that pop-up, by the way. The confirmation dialog. I will show that later. We're gonna cancel some contracts, and you'll see there's a little pop-up that says, "Are you sure?" I think that's pretty cool because it was so easy just to hit cancel, and when you didn't mean to. So I like that. There are action buttons in airplane camera view. That is pretty cool as well. I love that, like, they're letting us play the game in different camera views. I appreciate that. You know, I wish we had the full UI in all these camera views, but I know that's a system limitation because I've asked them about that a couple times. They added TikTok and forum links to the main menu, which is overdue, especially with the forum, right? I mean, you got the Discord down here, you got Facebook, Instagram, so now you got TikTok. I'm guessing this is the forum, right? Yep, that's the forum right there. So we got a forum link. That's pretty cool. Strobe lights turn on when crossing active runways, which is based on this WOA forum post. Improved radio voice sound and quality. I played with the sound on for a little bit, and it's actually a lot better than it was initially. So it's pretty cool. Pathfinding updates at Innsbruck, extra cargo handling service at Innsbruck, and there was flight route updates. WMI Modlin base added for Buzz and Ryanair. China Eastern at YNT. More Eurowing bases. Ryanair. Muscat region updated with new destinations from India. B77 LF FedEx Europe no longer available. And the world map was updated. The US Great Lakes region was added. And then there's bug fixes. So there's a fix for unclaimable contracts with real airlines. Fix for airports not loading for players who haven't played in a long time. Fix for airplanes not able to enter or exit handling mode. Resolved issues where planes got stuck in taxiing to stand, parked, or waiting for chalk states. That's happened to me a few times. Usually you have to go back to main menu and then back to the game in order to fix it. So good to see that that's potentially been fixed. Fix for player connection contract cancellation bug. Heard during the last turnaround. Okay. Various radio voice error fixes. Pathfinding fixes at IAD, St. Martin, New Orleans, GRU, and INN. Tutorial start bug fix. Various sound fixes. User UI fixes. Unlock purchase button visible for unknown Snow White livery. Placeholder fix in airplane info panel. Chalk's van position update, and translation fixes. And then we got some graphical fixes as well with improved graphics quality, UI graphic fixes. There's placeholder text in the search bar now. We also have my fleet filter issue was fixed. Some jet bridge floating runway lights at Sydney, missing wall on baggage cart. Right, cool. Not too bad at all. I think for me, the major things are the fly view, right? That we're going to take a look at. We're going to take a look at the new E-Jet models. I'm going to see if I can find these turnable wheels, but for me, I never catch a plane while it's like landing, so we'll see if we can look at that. And then also some of the new UI features, the confirmation dialogue, and the action buttons in airplane camera view. Those are going to be like the ones that we're going to see while playing game. I'm also going to play with the sounds on, so you'll see that. And then of course we have new liveries, right? So you got all the E170, E175, E190, E190F, and the E195 liveries there. And it looks like the World of Airports forum also got an update, because it's looking different now. Maybe something's different with my settings, or maybe this is the mobile version, but looking different now. Same channels, same categories, but looking different. All right, and then there's another post that I want to talk about in just a few minutes. But let's get into LHR. Let's start playing a little bit and accept these unique arrivals, and let's start talking to you guys too. And let's see if we got any planes coming, like arrive. We got no planes in the air right now, so we are going to need to start handling. I'm going to do 1 hour of tower managers at the mild speed up, and we're going to go ahead and activate the arrival. I'm going to manually assign these plane stands because there's not a huge. I don't want to put silver planes onto a delivery manager. Plus, I want to prioritize certain planes. So we're gonna go ahead. I have certain planes hearted, so I have the. I'm on the hearted filter, and I know I said I was gonna talk to chat, and instead I just went right into gaming. So I'm going to talk to chat in just a second. But first, let's assign a few of these planes. I think we're definitely going to get to 10,000 silver planes today, though. All right, what is good, guys? Boy Muffin Player asked, when should I buy a premium pass at an airport? In my opinion, as soon as you can. Yeah, as soon as you can. I think most of the premium passes really help you with leveling up the airport, so the sooner you can get it, the better. But like, it depends on what airport, right? If you're playing IAD, you're really not going to benefit from an IAD premium pass until like you're an international airport. Then, you know, having all those extra rewards could really help a ton. But if you're playing Innsbruck, you know, or actually maybe not Innsbruck, but if you're playing St. Martin, you could benefit right away. If you're playing Nagoya, you could benefit right away. So I would say as soon as possible is my thought process with that. Should I buy Leipzig? What's up, Space Bricks? Space Bricks asked, should I buy Leipzig or New Orleans? They're both 14 gold planes. I'm not really a big fan of advising people to buy airports. You know, every single airport in this game you can unlock for free. So if you can unlock it for free, why not unlock it for free? You know, there are plenty of things in this game that you cannot unlock for free, like the premium pass and airplane models. You can't unlock an airplane model for free. It doesn't happen anymore. So in order to unlock an airplane model, you do have to buy it, right? So what that means is you're better off using your gold planes to unlock a premium pass, which gives you so much more reward, which gives you so many rewards, than to buy an airport. Now, should you buy, if you wanted to still buy an airport anyways, for whatever reason you have, I would, you know, between Leipzig and New Orleans, it's kind of a close choice, right? So Leipzig is a really cool cargo airport, and cargo airplanes really get you the most XP compared to their passenger plane counterparts. So you're going to level up pretty quickly. Which means that you're going to be finished with that airport fast, and then you get to St. Martin afterwards, right? And then New Orleans is a small airport, or it's actually more like a medium-sized airport, but it operates almost like a small airport where you're really only handling small and medium planes. So it's going to be a tough airport to really like level up and to like, how do I put it? I guess to enjoy, for me to enjoy at the same level I enjoy playing like Washington or some of these other airports, larger airports. All right, here's one of the features. We're actually gonna follow this plane because one of the features that was included in 3.0.3 is the option for you to like handle the plane while it's taxiing, right? It's not really handling the plane, but it's more like doing some of the controls for the plane. Now, if you have tower managers active, the tower managers take care of all of this, so it doesn't really affect you. But for me, like on this account, I'm not using tower managers because I want to save up. I'm not using all of the tower managers because I want to save up my silver planes, so that way I can convert them to gold planes. So this is great because I can still enjoy a beautiful point of view. I can still enjoy watching my planes, and then this little pop-up appears telling me, hey, I can cross the runway. I don't have to exit this view, go back to this view, hit cross runway, and then go back into the plane. I could just stay right here the entire time. And it doesn't matter which camera angle you're at, that pop-up will still show up. So I think that's a pretty cool change. It lets me really enjoy being in these camera angles. And I mean, I wish we had more. I wish we had like the full card in like these different camera angles and all the other camera angles, but I'll take it, man. I will take this. It is pretty cool to see. So that's feature number one that we could show you right away, which I'm pretty excited about. Oh, let's turn on the sounds. Here we go. No, no radio sounds. Bav is waiting for SCL airports. Yeah, bro, you're probably gonna wait for another 1 or 2 months. What's better, B757 or A21NX? I mean, they're both different classes, man. They're both different categories. It's like saying, what's better, the SF34 or the 738? Like, what? I mean, one is a D plane and the other one is a C plane. So it's almost not fair comparing them. Game might be too loud. Yes, but I mean, overall, if you're looking for like the A21NX is a great plane for a seaplane. It has that range that the 752 has as well. I do wish, you know, right now I'm not really buying a lot more 752s, mainly because there's not a ton of D stands in a lot of airports. But if they do open up more D stands in some airports, then it's probably something I'm going to buy more of again. But for now, you know, a lot of these airports have a lot of C planes, C gates, and not a lot of D, E, or F, right? So I gotta play the way the game wants me to play, right? And if
Alpha 4 Oscar Sierra Charlie start out and pushback approved.
You know what? My sound is very delayed. That's what's happening. The sound for the game is very delayed. I don't know why the game is very delayed. Usually it'll say pushback approved as soon as I push the pushback button. But yeah, I'm gonna turn off the sound. I'm sorry. I don't like how delayed it is. I click buttons and I hear it like 5 seconds later. Anyways, I still think it's pretty cool, pretty interesting. You know, we got these cool little features coming added onto the game. Are the wheels moving? Let's look at that. XBest asked, if you're at Bari, is it advised to unlock St. Martin for 4 gold planes? I mean, it goes back to, like, first off, my biggest thing is I don't advise unlocking, especially if you're a free player, I don't advise unlocking airports for gold planes. Play through the airports, you can get them for free, right? But St. Martin is a really good airport to kind of get because of its price. It's only 4 gold planes, and you know, it gets you working on the newer airports that were released. So, you know, if you're at Innsbruck or Bari, right, or even Prague, you're going to keep working through and unlock all the airports from Innsbruck to Leipzig, Innsbruck, Bari, Prague, Washington, Nagoya, San Diego, Muscat, Leipzig, right? And then if you were to unlock St. Martin, then you also are able to work on progressing towards like the newer airports. Now, I think it's better to use your gold planes on things that you can't get for free. But I know sometimes, you know, it could get a little boring just playing one airport over and over again. So you do what's best for you. But if you're a free-to-play player, I really think that the best thing for you to do is to use your gold planes on things you cannot get for free. If you're buying gold planes, then yeah, sure, it makes sense to buy an airport so you can make double the progress, right? Make more progress. You can, you know, especially in the beginning levels, you're really not like you're not spending. So in the beginning levels in an airport, it's really hard to spend like 30 minutes or an hour playing with nonstop airplanes. But like at the later levels in the airport, it's real easy to spend 2 or 3 hours at one single airport. I mean, I have 209 planes waiting to land here at LHR. That was not happening in the beginning of this airport. But now I can easily play this airport for multiple hours. And I know I only have the time manager set for 1 hour, but I can easily play it for 3 hours, maybe even 4, with 200 planes waiting to land. So, yeah, having 2 different airports in those early levels can make the game a little bit more interesting, because you could switch, and then when you switch over to the other back to the other airport, you can you have a few more planes to land. But still, not a big fan of unlocking airports for gold planes, especially if you're a free player. What's up, if England? What's up, Tomas? Even in the gate, you can be in the camera angle? No, you can't be on the camera angle at the gate. Like this plane right here. Actually, oh, I'm in 3D view. That's why. Yeah, they have that turned off. Now, what you can do though is when the plane is about to get to the gate, like this plane here, you can use this and get to the gate camera. But once the plane starts handling, that option turns off. So like even while it's taxiing to stand and then it's going to be parked shortly, it's parked, we can still go into this camera angle. And then even while we're waiting for services to be like active, as long as you don't have any handling crew assigned to the plane, you could still go into that 3D view or that plane camera view. But once you start having services once the plane starts being handled, then that camera angle gets disabled. Luke's Aviation is level 38. Let's go. How was your birthday last week? Last weekend was a very eventful weekend. Thank you. $752s are bugged where the livery disappears when I zoomed in. Is that what happened? I felt like I saw that too last night, but I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me, because like all of a sudden, like it went from Snow White to like my colors. I don't even think I zoomed in or zoomed out, but I was like, huh, that's weird. I was like, did this happen? And Hammy says that bug's been reported. It's a bug many people are facing, and it's kind of funny. Is a 752F still a good plane? I mean, I think so. I still use them. The hardest part about it now is that it uses a D stand, right? Which is like the equivalent of what used to be an L stand. So the hardest part about recommending it is that a lot of these airports don't have a ton of D stands. So right, if you're talking about 752F at Prague only has 2 cargo D stands. So is it a great airplane there? No. Because I mean, there's probably some other better D, E, or F planes or cargo planes that you could unlock. But you know, if you're at Leipzig, it doesn't really make a difference. It's still a great plane to use. So yeah, it depends is the answer there. What's up, Educate? Nice to see you, dude. Yo, Educate's 1 level away from maxing GRU. Nice. At GRU, I have like 3 or 4 more levels to go. So, good job, man. Alright, very nice. What's up, Goose Flemmy? Facebrick says, if you select auto handle, you have about 1 second to get into it. Yes, you do. Look, so this is what he's talking about. So I'm going to read Facebrick's message. He says, if you select auto handle, you have about 1 second to go into that view, and you can still watch in that view. Yep. So right now, right, the camera angles is available. So we can click on this and click on start handling, and then you have a second to click on here, and you can go into this view. But once you exit the view, you can't go back in, which is sad. I wonder why they disable it. I don't get it. I don't know. But yeah, when I exit this view and I try to go back, it's disabled. So I don't get it, but maybe that's something that they're gonna change in the future. Hopefully. Across the runway, push back. Excellent, excellent. Now, always like landing the planes that are almost complete first. So here's one that's almost complete. What is this? And guys, if you let's accept these. Yep. Got to get that free silver planes and 5 XP. You know, 10 silver planes and 5 XP. We'll accept those later. And yeah, if you guys are sending me a contract request, what you have to do is you have to go on Twitch and you have to redeem the Phat S plane contract or the Phat M plane contract. So for J6, you're going to need to redeem the Phat M plane contract because I'm considering the BCS1 still an M plane. I have to change that. I will change it eventually because last week, I think you guys mentioned to me that, especially for newer players, it could be a little confusing for you because what is an M plane? There's no M planes in the game anymore. So I get it. I'm going to change it eventually. I could probably change it live, but I'd much rather play the game. And who is this going to? Mert. Okay. I haven't seen Mert yet in chat today, but I'll still get this plane landed because Mert's usually pretty quick about accepting. May really is the best month. I agree, TJ. It still shows player. Oh yeah, let's take a look at the in-flight camera, right? So let's take a look at this A388. So you can go to the radar view now, and you can look at any plane that's traveling, right? So we're gonna look at this A388. You press this camera icon, and then wow, you can go under it. Oh my gosh. Go above it. Yes. Can I zoom out? No, you can't zoom out. I did notice though, even though like everything is clouds underneath, which is a cool little workaround they have to make sure like there's no geography issues. I did also notice that there is day and night, so it does adjust for daytime and for like nighttime. So like I wonder. Well, it's still daytime in Europe, but I wonder if we had a plane coming from like over here. Let's see, we have any planes coming in? Arrivals. That's coming from that is coming from Washington. Yeah, this 752 needs an update. What else we have? Don't we have a Concorde? Oh no, the Concorde is still at my airport. I'm like, I'm so used to the game. Having it when you push back, the airplanes would be on your radar, but that's not the case anymore. Now with the airplanes, they show up on your radar after the plane takes off from your airport. So you have to hit line up and then hit takeoff. I think I'm gonna activate a departure manager for like 20 minutes here, because I need those planes to take off, especially the ones that, like this one from LA or to Leipzig, I think it is. Yeah, it's a Leipzig, right? So those planes, I want them to get back to their people as soon as possible, because they might be able to send it back my way. I'm like 5 minutes behind in chat. Sorry, I keep like reading a message, then getting into something else. What do you think of the new cruise view camera and the ATC comms? I actually like the new ATC comms. I do wish that the comms were a little bit more delayed than what they currently are, because, for example, let me see if I can show you. I don't have the sounds turned on because there's a big delay from my iPad to the stream for sounds. I don't know why. But like, let's say for example, I started handling this, I hit start handling, and then I wanted to switch over to another plane immediately. what would happen is the ATC, the radio, would start immediately as soon as I hit start handling. It says Alpha 4 Oscar, and then it goes through. It does its whole little thing, like, you know, handling in 15 18 or whatever it says. It does it immediately. I wish there was like a little bit of a gap, because what'll happen is it starts saying Alpha, and then I'm switching over to the next plane, and then it stops the audio. So it kind of gets annoying when I'm just like clicking through a lot of planes at once. Then it gets a little annoying for that part. But when I'm actually just like chilling and not like speed playing, it's very nice. It is very nice. This plane gets hearted. It's at 7 out of 10. Let's see. Educates back for 1 week. Nice. Yo, James Hag just got level 56 at Leipzig. Congrats, bro. What's up, Gabriel? Thanks for subscribing. What's up, Fat? Any tips for faster level up at St. Martin? At St. Martin, you can... I don't know what kind of player you are, but I'm just going to give some like tips that worked for me at St. Martin. I don't have St. Martin on this account yet, but I played St. Martin on 2 accounts, you know, my free to play account and on my my main account, right? So on both accounts, you know, first thing I would really recommend to everybody is at St. Martin, you can really benefit from the premium pass there. If you don't have the premium pass, you might want to consider getting it. You know, save up your gold planes, you know, trade in your silver planes for gold planes, because this goes into my next tip at St. Martin. At St. Martin, you can also, you benefit a lot from having more handling crew and from having more contract capacity. More handling crew means that you can handle more planes at once, which is solid when you're starting to handle a lot of those larger planes. Those D, E, F size planes, you will benefit a ton once you have a lot of handling crew. And I don't typically recommend buying handling crew, but buying the premium pass gives you more handling crew. So that's a great way to kind of help you level up. Another thing the premium pass gives you is extra contract capacity. Now, if you have a ton of silver planes, which I know some of you do, you can buy extra contract capacity for silver planes. Extra contract capacity at St. Martin is going to be super helpful as well, because there's not a lot of stands at St. Martin, and the more planes you can handle, the more progress you can make. So definitely see if you can buy more contract capacity. So not only that though, then you can also have different options. You might want to handle a few more cargo airplanes. I know like there's 3 cargo stands now at St. Martin, so that might help you out a little bit, but they're combination stands. So that means passenger planes and cargo planes both utilize the stand. Cargo planes get you more XP. So that's why you might want to consider using a cargo plane, so that way you can get more XP and level up faster. And then of course, my other standard recommendations, you know, for the first like 10 to 20 levels of an airport, you want to have a mix of non-player planes and player planes. Of course, if you have your own fleet planes, that's even better, because your own fleet planes are going to make you more money. That's another benefit of the premium pass, is that they give you fleet planes at no additional cost. You don't have to unlock the plane. You don't have to purchase the plane. So that's a huge benefit of the premium passes. But yeah, I mean, those are like just some of my advice for St. Martin in order to kind of level it fast. but it is not a fast airport. So even if you get more contracts, even if you get more handling crew, even if you get the premium pass, it's a slower airport because the main thing you're handling there are small airplanes. Small airplanes are not going to get you a lot of XP. They're not going to get you a lot of silver planes either. So you will have to kind of progress through, but if you do have more contract capacity, if you do have more handling crew, it is a lot easier. Am I still going to play GRU every day when you reach max level? I think so. I'm really enjoying GRU. I just need to like, this gets into my, another thing I wanted to talk about. The one thing I don't like about GRU though, well, how do I work this? One thing I'm worried about when I'm going to play GRU after I max level it is like banking planes, right? So I'm gonna have to stop using the delivery manager, and it's just kind of like GRU is kind of complicated when you want to make sure you're able to land your D, E, and F planes, especially like with the delivery manager on. So I want to talk about this one suggestion from Loro123Q from on the World of Airports forum. Let me post the link in chats because I really think this is a cool idea, and this is something that I also want. But how do I put it? I like the way Loro123Q posted this. So I'm gonna read through, and this is the biggest issue in World of Airports: player connections. And says, "Hi there. I have one problem, and in my opinion, it's a very big one. When I send an aircraft to someone, I need to wait for them to accept it. We all know that. If I want to land my 200 planes in IAD and did a small mistake at the beginning, assigning a finished contract 10 out of 10 from my fleet to a stand, I need to wait for the other player to accept the renewed contract. At some airports like LHR or BKK, that would not be a big problem. But for airports with not that many stands, it's a very big issue. If I have 10 planes waiting in IAD, I can only use the other 12 stands, so I'm running on half the capacity. For Bari, Innsbruck, or St. Martin, that's an even much more of a problem. My solution to the problem, just include that in the fleet manager, so your planes, which are finished or bought new from the shop and don't have an active contract, could be in the fleet manager, maybe an extra tab. There, they could send to someone waiting as long as it needs. If they are accepted, they appear in the landing list. You could add it that we can claim the rewards in the fleet manager, or just get them without claiming. The arriving or new bought aircraft can be on a hold position, not at the airport, waiting in the fleet manager, where you can renew the contract or send it to someone else, like you can already do in the fleet manager, for planes that are landed and blocking a stand, just for waiting for acceptance. Let them wait in my fleet manager, not at my stands. And one more, also very important feature, which we also really need: please add an information when a contract was handled last time, like waiting, like the waiting for acceptance for 4 days timer, for example. I don't care how it looks. It just could be a date like a day ago, 5 days ago, anything. Anything we can indicate inactive contracts. I have about 850 in IAD, but only about 300 come back when I was offline for a week. Wow, only 300 out of 850. Other users, please tell me your opinion on that. To the devs, please add something like I told you. Anything for these two important issues: indicator for inactive contracts, and don't let planes block the stands when they are waiting for acceptance. I really do like this idea, and I hope you guys, Laurel123Q also asked me to mention this during stream, and I really like this idea because this is a reason why I can't do. I have so much contract capacity at Bari, Innsbruck, and St. Martin, and a few other airports that are small airports too. But it's hard for me to want to do contracts because I don't know how long a plane is going to be. Here we go. Sometimes I just hate playing smaller airports because I'm waiting for so many contracts to get accepted. It doesn't even feel like I'm playing the airport. So right now, I'm still working on my email from a month or 3 weeks ago, where I had a giveaway from St. Martin. And St. Martin, I only have 8 stands, but like literally all 8 stands are occupied by pending requests. So I can only place small planes. None of the large planes can land. None of my other planes, none of my medium planes can land. None of my X planes can land because they're all just sitting there waiting for acceptance. And it's nothing against the people who are like who I'm waiting to accept. We all have different time zones, right? So sometimes I'm sending it at midnight Eastern time, which is like 5 a.m. European time, you know? So it's like, I don't expect people to be playing World Airports all day. I mean, that's impossible. Even though I know some of you guys do. But I don't expect you guys to be playing World Airports all day. But it does feel really bad to have that slot, that stand occupied, let alone if it's occupied for 24 hours, for 48 hours. I have a pending request at LHR on my main account. That's for 66 days. I should probably cancel that request and send it to somebody else, but I'm not exactly ready to do that. But I think this would be a positive for the community too, because people would care less about how long you take to accept a contract, right? Like, I could send you a contract request and I wouldn't care if it took you 66 days to accept it because like you were away on vacation or you didn't have internet. But like if that were to happen at St. Martin and you took 3 days to accept the contract, I'm gonna be upset. Like, come on, man, I only have 3 slots, man. I only have 8 slots here. So definitely, check out the link. I'm gonna post the link again. Check out that post. Add your comments, add a heart to it if you agree with the idea. Let me know here in the chat too if you guys agree or disagree, because I want to know what your guys' thoughts are. I think it's a great idea and a great way to kind of solve for an issue for like an issue. Yeah, solve for one of these issues that we're running into. Right, Mert's got a contract renewal. Mert and I finished another contract. Let's go. All right, let me read your guys' comments here. Simone, you don't have to type your message over and over again. I'm just typically about 5 to 10 minutes behind chat, so you could just say hello and wait a little bit. Right now I'm still 10 minutes behind in chat, but I'm actually going to fast forward. So if you sent any messages from like 11:44 my time until now, you can resend it. But yeah, for GRU, I do think I'm gonna play that every single day. Oh snap! Thank you, Madi. Mod Hammy, Madi. Oh my gosh, I got a mod alert because thank you, Hammy, to ping me. Yes, we have to convert our silver planes to gold planes. So let's do that right now. And I say this every time. You guys who are here every stream are probably tired of me saying this, but even though I had 1,500 silver planes to convert to 1 gold plane, I never do that when I'm less than 50,000 silver planes. Once I pass that 50,000 silver plane point, then I start buying the 1 gold plane. But until I'm at that level of consistency, I'm always saving up for the 10 gold planes for 10,000 silver planes. This is the first purchase that everybody should do every single week, and as soon as you can. If you can't afford it, just keep saving up, because I know this is very tempting. It's a lower number, but you have to save for this. And that actually reminds me, I should claim my free silver planes too. $3. But yeah, every week you have 1 week to do 10 gold to get free 10 gold planes. That's 520 free gold planes per week if you play. Now I don't play this account. I only play this account once per week right now because it's my stream only account, and I'm getting 10,000 silver planes now about every 2 or 3 weeks, which isn't bad for playing once or twice a week for 3 hours. But if you could play World at Airports for even 30 minutes per day, you could get a huge benefit. And you can get, I think, by playing with other players, active players, you can also get your silver planes, 10,000 silver planes easily per week. Let's see here. We have any redemptions? Seabird, nice. All right. So yeah, what do you guys think about that that idea from Loro 123Q? Kamikaze. Oh, okay. I see you guys talking about it. Nice. All right. So Kamikaze says yes, this is a really good idea. TJ says love the idea. I commented on it. Adam Cack says nice idea. Yeah, here we go. TJ says St. Martin has only one stand for E-Class cargo. If that stand is down, yeah, that's the worst, right? And it's like nothing against the other players. Like the other players typically do accept, most players typically accept the plane within like 24 to 48 hours. That's not the problem. The problem is that it's occupying a stand, which is then causing us, the player who's sending the plane to like constantly nag the other player to accept the request. Now, airport like LHR, no problems here at all. Like you have so many stands here, nobody complains about LHR. But when you go like to San Diego and you only have the four E and F stands for passenger planes, yeah, you need to accept that like ASAP, please, because I can't. And then on top of that, I know I don't think it was mentioned in that suggestion post, but with the delivery manager, right? The delivery manager will automatically select and assign stands. If the delivery manager assigns a plane that's at like 10 out of 10, or a plane that is not assigned to your gate, now all of a sudden all the other planes that you had, that you have to handle as well, are completely blocked from using that stand, because now you have to assign that plane, wait for the other player to accept. It's just a hassle. Raptor says I always try and accept contracts as soon as I can. Kamikaze sometimes feels bad for taking too much time to accept, especially when the notification been there for one day. Yep. Daniel sad, disappointed with this CRJ9X backtracking in St. Martin. Interesting. I don't think I've noticed. Nico says that's a cool idea. Should I sell the 744 in St. Martin, Fat? I don't know. Euroland says, yep, I'm with Lork 123. Great idea. What airports you play currently week on Fat Rican? I don't see your planes from LEJ anymore. That's why I ask. I haven't played LEJ. Well, all right. I did play LEJ this week. The past 7 days, I did play it. Maybe I didn't handle all the passenger planes. I don't know. But yeah, so before my birthday, which was last Saturday. So before last Saturday, I was on vacation. I was sick the week before that. So my gaming, my World of Airports time was down by a whole lot. So after last Saturday, my World of Airports game time has been about almost normal again. So on my main account, the Fat Rican, I'm playing LHR, IAD, BKK, and GRU. I'm playing those airports pretty much every day. Now, the other airports, like MSY. So I might just go through all the airports. Innsbruck and Bari, I don't really play those airports on my main account. I will play it occasionally, like if I want a change of scenery, essentially. But I don't really play those airports too often. For Prague, I aim to play that about 2 or 3 times per week. We have Washington daily, and then Nagoya. Nagoya is another one I try to play like 3 or 4 times per week, because I want to make sure I'm sending planes to BKK, right? Especially, so that's another one. After Nagoya comes what? San Diego. San Diego is an airport that I want to play, but I just can't. I just don't play it. So San Diego, I would consider that now like an airport I don't play, unfortunately. Although I do go in there every once in a while and play it, and when I play San Diego though, I handle all of the airplanes at once. So that's a good thing about San Diego. After San Diego's Muscat, I try to play Muscat like 3 or 4 times per month, or sorry, 3 or 4 times per week. But realistically, it's about 2 or 3. And then Leipzig, same thing, 2 or 3 times per week. What's after Leipzig is St. Martin. St. Martin, I do almost 1 time per week on my main account. After St. Martin is LHR, and then we have Sydney. Sydney is like once per week as well. Not a frequent flyer there. After Sydney is what? BKK, and then after BKK is MSY. MSY is like 2 or 3 times per week. It's just that one's a tough airport because of the block stands. Oh, let me. Yeah, that MSY is a tough airport because of the block stands, right? I still really wish we had a feature to like disable stands or disable specific sizes on stands, because when I have the delivery manager on, it's very common at like BKK, even at GRU, and sometimes at IAD, like at the cargo stands especially. It's very common where the delivery manager will assign a plane that then blocks a larger plane from being assigned, and then they assign more planes that are smaller that block that plane to like other adjacent stands. So it's an airport where I have to essentially manually assign planes, which I don't always want to do. So I don't play it like 2 or 3 times a week, maybe less. How you liking the new flying camera? I don't use it too often, but I think it's going to be pretty cool for pictures. Now, is this a bug? Yeah, that looks like it's a bug. Or does the nose turn black in the sky? Is that like normal? Take a look at some other Concords. Here's another one. This is also a Snow White Concorde though. Here's Hammy's Concorde. Let's take a look. Maybe it's not black, it's like silver. You see how this plane is at nighttime? It's on its way to Muscat. I think that's a pretty cool detail that I didn't even think about until I saw it. A cat said my jaw dropped when he said Muscat 2 or 3 times a month. I actually like Muscat a lot. Muscat's a pretty cool airport to play. I just don't have a ton of contracts there, and I have a lot of cargo contracts there, which is kind of sad and hard to handle. A lot of cargo contracts there. At Airlines, it's reported bugged. All right, awesome. Thank you, Hammy. Good to know. Yeah, I don't use this camera view too often, so that's why it's like, even during testing. Yeah, you get some cool shots, man. Maybe we could update some of my thumbnails now. Excuse me for a second. DJ says one thing that they would like added to the camera view is an action needed indicator, so I know when I need to go back to handling. Yeah, I wish all the camera views, which I know it's a system limitation they said before in the past, but I wish all of the camera views, because like I wish I could be in plane spotting camera and still handle my planes, right? I wish I could be in this camera view and have the list of my cards, right? Like maybe I could hit settings and there'd be another setting that says like, you know, turn off the camera, you know, icon here. Let's allow, sure. Let's turn off the camera mode and let's turn on, you know, handling mode. But they said that's not possible right now. So I would love that camera view, you know, while we're doing this. I would love to have all my cards still be up on the screen. You know, maybe another button that turns that on, like an overlay. I would love to have the capability of being in different camera angles and still being able to handle all my planes. Because that's like the main reason I don't spend a lot of time in different camera angles, is because I had 210 planes to handle, so I have so many things to assign, so many things to do. They should add a filter for buying contracts to filter by airline and place type in the search bar. I felt like that was something that was also mentioned before, and people were kind of expecting that in 3.0, but instead we got something different. So yeah, for me, I don't really do too many airlines, so I have no comment, no thoughts on that. We got an E190. So yeah, with the fleet. Let's read the other people's comments. Really like the indicator when a contracted plane was last handled or when it was at your home base. Some planes can be gone more than a week. Yeah, I like that thought of indicator. Here's TJ. What's up, TJ? Would be nice if on the last handle the other player could indicate or invite a renewal. Yeah, that way it's like almost automatic. I like that idea. Don't we have a section where this belongs? Okay, mod. Great idea. I would support this idea all the way. Yeah, leave your comments, guys, because that will help drive. Leave your comments, leave a heart, you know, vote on the idea. And it looks like it's in the wrong section. Yeah, it's in general discussion connections. It needs to be in the suggestions field so that way it can actually be voted on. So maybe hopefully a mod can end up moving it. I'm not a moderator on the World of Airports forum. That card nose was orange. That's funny. Monkeyism says an awesome feature would be our own custom airlines, but not too much customization. Pre-made airline logos with the existing liveries. I think that is a feature that is coming, like customization for our own liveries. We don't have too many details on it. Like, I don't know exactly what that's going to look like. Like, is it going to be tied to alliances? Is it going to be tied to like a purchase? We don't know what all the details are associated with it, but what we do know is it's something that they intend on. It's something that the World of Airports developers intend on adding in the future. Is chat froze? Oh. It is 12:10 p.m. Eastern for me. Yep. You've noticed in the in-flight cam, if the plane's over a body of water and the ground, you can see water instead of clouds. Let's go! Really? That's pretty cool. Let's see. Yeah, that's another cool solution too, actually, right? Because he can be like, that's not the Atlantic Ocean. That's the Pacific Ocean. I mean, I guess different oceans do have different like water color, right? But that's not the Atlantic Ocean. That's not the Caribbean. The Caribbean is a cyan blue. As this Concorde's heading to the Caribbean. That's pretty cool. Thank you, Kamikaze, for mentioning that. I did not notice that. Had him to laugh, get in. Alright, so my departure manager expired. Voitando wants an L plane contract to IAD. Alright, alright. Well, I do have an A388, but that's not an L plane. We have a 789. We have a Concorde. Ooh. I'll get you to 789. We're going to put on Premium 4. We're going to make it black. That's a reference destination. Let's get over here. We're going to maximize the profit. So 3453. 3650. 3690. 3689. Okay, 3690. We're down to this 3650. Up 3708. There we go. 1310. I'm gonna claim it. We're gonna go into my fleet. Go all the way to the right here. Thank you, Voitando, for the contract request. Go ahead and hard it so that way it can land first. We're gonna approve it for landing. Hockey fan likes the night view when the plane is all lit up. Yeah, I like how it differentiates between night and day, which is a cool thing. You know, it's like they didn't mention all those like little tiny like attention to detail that they added to that in-flight picture, you know, camera view. Because like on this plane, we're still over Europe, so of course it's going to be daytime because that's what time it is now. But then, you know, this plane over here on its way to Muscat, where I forget what time it is right now in Muscat. I'm gonna have to go back to main menu, but it's probably like what, 8 or 9 p.m. over there, maybe 10 p.m. And you got a nice little nighttime. Although, are the lights really on the plane while you're flying at night like that? No. I think the passengers would be very upset. Did I see the new E-Jet doors? I don't really look at the doors like that, but we can look. We can look. Oh, we should. Let's go into fleet offers, configure and buy, and let's go type in the letter E. We got the E175. I do have some liveries for this, so we're gonna put that on. Check that out. Right? We have the E170. Check that out. All right, what's next? We got the E190. We have the E190F. I don't got any liveries for that. Then we got the E195. Also don't got liveries for that either. Pretty cool. I guess you're talking about the doors when they're actually being handled, right? I'm guessing. Let's see if we got any E1 E-Jets being handled right now. Nah, no E-Jets. Here we go. Hammy, Twill. Oh yeah, I saw Twill's taking a little break from World of Airports. What's your most hated aircraft ever? I don't know, man. I mean, in the game, I would say it's probably like the AT-43, or even I mean, yeah, it's probably got to be one of these smaller planes. You have to look at the small planes. See, I don't hate the DHC-6 as much anymore because at least it's an A-class plane, right? And it's our only A-class plane or A-size plane that we have in the game. So it has its use, right? But then you have like the AT-43. It's like you're better off just unlocking the AT-76. If you're thinking about getting the AT-43, don't. Get the AT-76 instead. It has better range. It has it handles more customers. I think it's just better. The AT-76. It has more liveries too. So I would say like the AT-43 is probably my most hated plane in the game. It used to be the DHC-6. Used to be. But now, because it's the only A plane in the game, I can't really hate on it as much. SpaceBricks thinks it's a nice feature to buy A, B, C, D, E, F for an F stand, but it's so annoying because now it costs $52,000 for an F stand at Heathrow instead of $20,000. So a new player, it's annoying. Yeah, but a new player at a new airport, you're not really supposed to be handling X planes right off the beginning of a new airport, you know? Yo, Armando, thank you for the resubscription, bro. But you know what I'm saying? Like, a new player is not supposed to be, a new player is not supposed to be, like, playing with an A388 right off the bat. I mean, like, think about it this way, right? You're a local airport. Yes, you're playing at LHR, but you're a local airport, and your local airport is usually like a very small, right? Very small airport. It can barely handle a 738, let alone an A388. Now, once you get to like a regional status, I think that's when it's like more appropriate to like start unlocking those F stands, right? Those larger planes. But I get it, you know, that it's a different way we have to kind of approach the game now. I'm enjoying it a lot. I enjoyed it a lot with GRU because once you got over that hump, it felt so rewarding because now oh, look at all these X planes or F planes I can handle now. Do I have the 744 unlocked? I don't know if I have it unlocked on this account. Let's take a look. So these are planes I have unlocked. I have the B463, the E175. So I'm pretty sure I bought this before the remodel. Same thing with the E175. We bought this like last week or a week or 2 weeks ago. So that way we can get ahead of the price increase. The A19N, we unlocked that before the price increase. The A21NX, we unlocked there was no way to unlock it before a price increase, but we unlocked it because it has like the longest range in the game for a seaplane. So we got that. E190 unlocked before the price increase because it's only 50,000 wallers to buy. So I felt, and it's a seaplane, so I feel like it's a really good value for that. 752, always one of my favorites. So of course we have that unlocked. A35K was a plane we unlocked before the price increase. Same thing with the 77LF and the 77W. We did that mainly because of the price increase. 789 we unlocked before the price increase. A388 still has not had its price increased, but I would definitely consider unlocking it again if you guys don't have it unlocked. And 748, we bought this a while ago too, just because I wanted some variety with my X size planes. But this is also going to get a remodel in who knows when, but probably in the next update or something. But who knows? Nobody knows exactly when. But this is another plane that's going to get a remodel, and the price is going to go up. So no, I don't have the 744 yet on this account, even though that is a plane that a lot of people are recommending to other players to unlock. But I have the 789, I have the 77W, so I don't know if the 744 really has a place in my fleet when I mean, I do have 502 gold planes, so it's not like I'm hurting on gold planes on this account. But I also don't want to just spend my gold planes just because I have them. Oh yeah, let's cancel some contracts. I'm waiting for these well, I think I have these contracts over here. Let's accept that. And we'll accept that. So I have a bunch of contracts that are like non-player contracts from like airlines. So let's go to B for British Airways. Here we go. So we can go right here, right? So you don't have to, we can cancel contracts. Can we cancel contracts from here? Never tried. No, I think they need to land. For British Airways. Not canceling that one. I would cancel like this. Can't cancel it from here. I'm gonna wait for I'm gonna wait for those planes to land. Like this plane right here, I definitely want to cancel as soon as I'm done handling it. Oh, I can cancel it from here. So yeah, what'll happen now is you have this option to hit cancel contract, and then it'll confirm with you. Are you sure you want to cancel? So I'm gonna hit no right now because I want to handle that plane once, just to boost my contract numbers. But that is a pretty cool feature, especially if you're renewing a contract. You see, I don't want to hit cancel there. I never tried that one. You know what? Why not? Why not? Cancel. Are you sure you want to cancel? That's pretty cool. But especially like when you're when it's your own plane, or if it's a non-player plane that you're handling, that little pop-up that says extend or accept your rewards and extend, or accept and cancel. That pop-up also gives you a confirmation. Are you sure you want to cancel? Really, I know it's another click, but I really do like it. I've canceled a few contracts by accident, and it just feels bad when that happens. It's like, oh man. And then I don't catch the person's name either, because like it doesn't show you the player's name when you're in that reward screen. So it just feels bad because it's like, oh man, now I don't know who this plane was going to. I canceled the contract and I can't like send it back over to them either. And I always, whenever I do whenever I do a contract with another player, I try my best to make sure that we keep that contract ongoing for as long as I'm able to. Am I planning to unlock the DHC6 now? Probably not, but I like having some planes that are locked. How do you unlock planes? It is just from the past. So you go into your fleet menu down here, you go to configure and buy, and then you go to locked planes. And then in order to unlock planes for the first time, you have to find a plane that's locked, right? So let's say we wanted to unlock the CRJ9 or CRJX, right? You would click on the plane, and then you can also click on the paint roller icon if you also want to unlock a livery with it. Liveries all have their different prices, but if you want to not get a livery with it, you could do that too. And then you click on unlock and purchase. This little pop-up is going to appear. That's going to tell you what you need in order to purchase it, right? So you need 7 gold planes because I picked a livery that costs 0 gold planes, and for you also need the wallers to buy your first plane. So not only do you need the gold planes, but you need the wallers. But after you unlock it, then it's unlocked at all airports, and you don't have to pay gold planes anymore for it. So that's the cool thing. But you do have to have gold planes and wallers for your first purchase of that, your first unlock of that airplane. Which airports do both takeoffs and landings? I think all airports do takeoffs and landings. Would be pretty hard to have an airport that doesn't do both. If you meant like, I'm not sure what you meant. Yeah. All airports. Question, how can you add your friends? So since Voitando's taking a long time to accept his request, we're going to cancel the request. We're going to send it back to him. So, right, Voitando, he put in, he actually redeemed a Phat L plane contract to his IAD. So I have his username. It's Voitando01, right? So we're gonna, first you need to have a plane in your fleet. It has to be your own plane. It doesn't have to be a livery on there, but it has to be your own plane. So this is my plane in my fleet. Once it gets to the stand, then you have the option to assign the contract. You have to go to an airport that has that's like playable. So you look at the map legend on the bottom, you go to an airport that's playable, that your friend has unlocked as well. And then you can click on find connection. It's going to ask you if you know a specific player. If you say no, then it's going to, it's going to tell you if you want to send it as a random, just as a regular destination. When it comes to sending it as a regular destination, the cool part is it doesn't cost you wallers like all these other destinations would cost you. Like this one costs you 8,500. This costs 7,000. The 3,500 for Pittsburgh. But Washington or any playable airport, if you hit no, it doesn't cost you any wallers to select that destination. But you do still have a contract capacity. Every single destination has a contract capacity for that destination. And for Washington, from LHR to Washington, that's 4 passenger planes and 4 cargo planes. But if you send a connection to another player, that you could type in their player name or their player ID. So the player ID is what happens if you go to your main menu and you hit this copy button. It says copy to clipboard. That's your ID. That's like a random string of numbers and letters. That is case sensitive. But when you're typing in their user ID, which is like their username, which is like in this case Voitando01, you could just type it in. That is not case sensitive. You can type in it in all caps. I'll show you right now. Where's my caps lock button? There it is. And it'll still send it over to that player. So once you type in their name, you hit send, it'll send a request over to the other player. The other player then has to go into their contract offers and hit accept contract. Once they hit accept contract, that's when now I'm able, because Voitando hit accept contract, now I'm able to handle the plane, and our contract has begun, and it'll just keep going back and forth as long as he handles it as well. If you were asking about my usernames, I have 3 accounts. I have multiple accounts, but there's 3 accounts that I mainly play. I have my main account, which is the account that I play every single day, and everybody is welcome to send me a contract request to my main account. My main account is the Phat Rican, THEPHATRICAN. You can do exclamation point fat in the chat for just the spelling if you need it again. But that's my main account. I play that account every single day, all day, every day. And that's, you could send me a contract request to any airport. I play 3 or 4 airports daily, and the other airports I try to play once per week, except for Innsbruck and Bari, where I don't really play them at all. But yeah, you have that. You have my free to play account. That's my free to play account means that I do not buy any gold planes with real money. So I am just playing the game, getting silver planes, and that's how I'm getting my gold planes. That account I haven't played a lot recently. I usually play that account. I try in the past I would play it like multiple times per week. It's not a daily game that I play, but I haven't played it in a while, mainly because I was catching up on my main account stuff. But I should be resuming that really soon. And then I have my stream only account, which is this one that we're playing on right now, and that one's called Phat Empire. I only play this account on stream, and this is the main account that I play on stream. When there's some days, especially like when a new airport comes out, where I'll play my main account or I'll play my free-to-play account on stream. But for the most part, this is the Phat Empire is the account that we're doing on stream. If you want to do a contract request to this account, my stream account, you do have to essentially purchase it, but it doesn't cost you real money. It costs you Twitch points. So you have to go on Twitch, watch me on Twitch, follow me on Twitch, and then you earn points for watching the stream. As you're earning points, then you can use them to redeem stuff. So it doesn't cost you any real life money. We just have it because on my stream only account, I want to play with people who are here also while I stream, and Twitch makes that easy because you're getting rewards for being here while I stream. So it just makes sense for me. And then I have a fourth account that's on Android, and I have a fifth account that's for testing, especially when there's like a new airport and World of Airports ask me to test like a new airport. I'll play it on my test account, so that way if something goes wrong, I'm not messing up my main account. But yeah, those are my 3 main accounts. Do you know how to change name in WOA? That's not thank you, QJ. QJ says not possible to change a name at the moment. Devs are working on a solution. Yeah, and actually let's go back to the World of Airports forum here, because I think they have a support. Yeah, they have a support and help section here, which I think is where they're gonna ask for a lot of people to put in their bug reports. I wonder, I think they had, can I change my nickname is one of the ones here. And it's like, why can't I change my name? It's linked as soon as you first play the game. It's linked with your Google Play Games account name or your Google, Apple Game Center account name. So they're working on a system that will allow you to refresh and update your nickname based on your Game Center or Google Play profile. And when it will be available, there's no release date yet. It's under roadmap. It's under active development. So we will see. Vote for that. I want to see that. Yo, what's up, Captain Daniel? You're back from playing World Airports? Welcome back. You should buy the 748F before the update. I probably should, yeah. You're not wrong. That's like, it's always a good practice, especially since we have the gold planes, to unlock the planes that are going to get graphically remodeled. The hardest part though about doing that, in my opinion, is having the wallers. Like, do I really want to spend, how much is that plane, by the way? Do I really want to spend 430,000 wallers? I mean, I have 1.7 million, right? So I have a lot of wallers. But do I really want to spend that? And then on top of that, there's only one livery. So you're still going to have to pay a lot of money for or a lot of gold planes for the new liveries. Because whenever they update the model, they also update the liveries. They add the additional liveries. So, all right, you know what? Guys, do you guys support this? Do you guys support this? What is the best XP? What is the best airplane for earning XP? Mostly cargo planes. Cargo planes, just in general, give you more XP than the passenger planes. So if you're looking to get more XP, you want to handle more cargo planes. But you have to be careful because a lot of the airports, they just simply don't have a lot of cargo stands, right? So you don't want to have too many cargo planes where you have all these passenger gates open, but you're still waiting for cargo planes to land. So you need to have a balance. But if you don't have any cargo planes, look to see if you can get some player contracts. You know, join the Phat Airlines Discord. On the Phat Airlines Discord, we have a ton of players who play Leipzig, and players who play other airports with cargo planes. And you can request specifically for cargo planes to your airport, and somebody will send. Now, I got a level set with everybody here because I know some of you guys, expect to put a contract board post up today and expect to get a response, or you put a post up now, like right now, and you want a response in like 5 minutes or less. And typically that's not how it's going to work. You're going to have to wait a little bit. Buying a plane is tough. Now, I think if these recommendations that Loro 123Q asked about, which is, having the option to not take up a stand for a new plane or for a plane that's being sent to another player, if those recommendations are in place, I think we'll see a lot more planes being sent to other players. But right now it's quite a process to get a plane sent over to another player. You have to first have the plane unlocked, then you have to buy the plane with wallers, and I mean, not everybody has millions of wallers, I haven't really spent any wallers while playing this airport because I have so many player contracts that it's not like super necessary. Got an X-plane contract from Voitondo, nice. Right there, coming in hot. So yeah, it's a process, right? Because you have to buy it, you have to spend your wallers, and not everybody has like 400,000 wallers or 1.7 million like I do right now. And especially in the beginning of an airport, it's really tough to come up with the wallers. And then you have to land that plane, and then if you don't know who the other player is, now you have to wait for that player to accept that contract, and who knows how long that's going to be. So especially if like nobody knows who you are, it might be a little bit longer. But I would still advise you to like keep posting, keep requesting contracts, because eventually people will realize that how often you play, and then that'll make more people want to send you contracts. Like, I know there's a lot of people here who have no problems at all finding contracts because other players know that they play, daily, that they play, every other day, or at least they play weekly. So they have no problem finding contracts. But yeah, join the Phat Airlines Discord. How do people send random arrivals? So when you're sending your fleet plane to a destination, a playable airport, and you don't have a player name on there, that other option that we had. So when you click on that playable airport, it says, do you know a player? If you hit no on that option instead of yes, yes will take you to type in that player's name or their ID. If you hit no, it'll take you over to that random arrival. That's when your plane becomes a random arrival. You have a contract limit, so you can only have a certain number of passenger planes and a certain number of cargo planes to that airport. Christopher likes the slider in 3.0 better than the push buttons, and I do too. But like, if you still like the push buttons, you can still push the button. If you want to just tap over and over again, you can still tap the plus and minus. So it's like, I think it's a win all over the place, right? If you want to slide, you can slide. If you want to push, you can push. All there. What's up, Ite? And Raptor, that's perfect what you did, man. Raptor XRR said, if anyone wants to do contracts with me, I play all airports, but not daily. I just play when I can. My user is Raptor EXRR. That's another thing too. Another like pro tip is if you're leaving a comment on my video asking for a contract, or if you're asking for contracts here in my chat, which is completely fine. I'm okay with that. Like I support you guys playing with each other. Include your username. I mean, you got some players here, and like they're lurking. You got people who are lurking, people who are just like, they don't necessarily comment here in the chat. There's quite a few of them that I know are probably here today, but haven't posted much in the chat. Like Made to Move, they're always around, but also never posting in the chat. And you know, Made to Move is another player, is a player with like large fleets. If they see this kind of message on there, they might send you a plane. I don't know about Made to Move in particular, but I know that's how some people can be, right? So always include your username, because some people might just send you a request and just like, you know, might even never know. It says, what do you play on a phone? So right now what you're seeing is an iPad Pro. I play my main account and on stream on an iPad Pro. The iPad Pro is 11 inches and it's M4. I do have an Amazon store link that has a link to all all the items in my stream setup. I'll post it in the chat in just a minute. But I also play on an iPad, on an iPhone 16. So both of my devices are newer, right? So I'm not, I don't really run into many issues as what you guys do, as some of you guys do. So I'm going to share this link. If you do end up buying anything that helps support the channel, appreciate that. Here's my Amazon link. You guys who want to see what my setup looks like, because we have an iPad Pro, we have an Apple Magic Keyboard, I have my AirPod Maxes, I have a Swiftpoint mouse, I have a special router that's also connected to my iPad, and then I got my whole stream set up with the microphone and the webcam, so you can see everything I use for my stream right there on that page. So yeah, I know that's why a lot of people think I'm playing on PC though, because like you could see like a mouse here, but I don't play on PC. I don't recommend playing on PC until like there's an official way to play, or if Google Play Games on PC gets supported by World of Airports, then I might start playing on PC as well. But I don't really like emulators. First off is that the devs don't directly support emulators, right? So if we run into issues, which you know happened when 3.0 was released, a lot of people ran into issues with their emulators. Then you have to wait for another update. Eventually, World of Airports does update, so that way the emulators will work. But that's not their top priority. Their top priority is to make sure the phones, the mobile game works. So. And I also don't like their privacy policies and their terms of services, so that turns me off too. And yes, I actually I sometimes read those terms of services just so I can understand what rights I'm giving up and stuff. But yeah, and then I also play sometimes on my MacBook, so you can natively play any iPhone or iPad game or app on your MacBook. If you have a MacBook with an M1 processor or higher, so M1, M2, M3, M4, if you have a MacBook or a Mac, it doesn't have to be a MacBook, it could be a Mac, with an M1 processor or better, then you can just go into your Mac App Store and you can just download World of Airports and play it. It plays really well. There's no problems. The only problem might be the parking mini game, but if you're playing with the touchpad, which your MacBooks have, right? Maybe your iMac doesn't have, but you might have that external accessory. But if you're playing with that touchpad, the Macs give you an option to like hold down the option key, I think it is, and you can use your touchpad or your mouse pad as a touch screen. So you could still even play the parking mini game on your Mac. It's pretty amazing. See you later, fleeting negligence. Any tips for St. Martin Airport? I gave a bunch of tips earlier, but St. Martin Airport is an airport that will benefit from you getting that premium pass, because you're going to get more handling crew and more contract capacity. You're studying while watching? Nice. Yo, congrats on unlocking GRU, Aviator Orion. Raptor RX, Raptor EXRR says, I always post my username on post. I think you do. But yeah, a lot of people don't, man. So that's why I want to mention it. Because a lot of people don't put it on there. And it's like It's like people coming into like DMs and just saying hi. It's like, what? Like well, I guess some people might just be saying hi, but like usually if I say hi back, then they ask me a question. It's like, we're on the internet, man. Just ask your question so that way I can answer it when I can. And it's like the same thing. I feel the same way about the like asking for a contract and not including your username. It's like, why are you gonna force the other person to go through extra steps, make it a lot harder than it needs to be? Yo, you got 11.8 million wallers at Muscat. Nice. I know on my main account at LHR, where am I at? I'm at 18 million wallers on my main account at LHR. I think that's a renewal. If not, Monolithic Frog, please buy it. I'm pretty sure it's a renewal. Did you prioritize your wallers to buy stands for the crew or buy contracts? I mean, if you unlock a brand new stand, a stand that's brand new, that means you don't have A unlocked at all. You don't have A unlocked. You have to unlock a brand new stand. You get both contract capacity and handling crew. Once you start making it into a multi-gate, which you're kind of forced to now, like if I'm gonna buy this F stand, I can't because the stand's occupied. If I was to buy this D, E, and F stand, I would have to purchase it, and I would not get additional handling crew or contract capacity. So yes, you should definitely buy a new stand to get more handling crew and contract capacity for sure. Especially in a newer airport, when you're lower level, that's a cool way to kind of help yourself level up. You just want to make sure you're filling up that contract capacity with either your own fleet planes, that way you can make that money back faster, or with like larger planes. But you also got to keep in mind, in a new airport, you don't have a ton of handling crew, right? So handling crew is going to limit you. Handling crew going to limit you when you have larger planes and you're in a newer airport. Yo, thank you for the super chat, bro. Appreciate that. When does winter season start? So for most of the airports in the game, I think winter is typically like around December. I don't know if I don't know how cold Sydney gets, but yeah, we're gonna have to wait a while. We got another like six months before winter. Will the AN-124 ever be released for purchase? I really hope so. I don't know what the plan is. We really haven't heard much about their plans, but one thing I think would be really awesome for the World of Airports devs to do is to not just have a Boeing pack where you can, if you buy the Boeing pack, you can buy this once per month, and then you get 4 B738s, 3 764s, 2 78X, and 1 748 that you can use at any compatible airport. You can only claim it once at any airport of your choice, and you also get to keep this livery for that plane. But I think what I would like to see World of Airports also do is maybe add a special plane pack, right, where it includes a DH-64, a Concorde, an A225, an A124. Am I missing any other special planes? I think I got them, but the Beluga, right? And have another special plane pack where we can buy that plane pack. And these packs have a 30-day cooldown, so you can only buy it once per month. I think that would be a really cool way for them to allow us to like have those airplanes. They'll make them, keep them special, because in a lot of ways the Concorde is not as special because you could just buy it for 1,000 gold planes. But I like that you can also unlock it. Don't get me wrong, I love that you can unlock it. But that's what makes like the A225 and the A124 and the Beluga you can't even send to any other players from Leipzig, which is the only airport you can get it at right now. So it's like, I wish we could unlock it to other airports or use it in other airports. That way we can really send it to other players. I don't know if it'll ever be released for purchase. I you know, I hope we see it as a purchase pack. Even better if we see it unlocked for gold planes. But I think I don't know what the plan is for that. Can you have tips on MSY? So I played MSY before 3.0, so I don't really have a lot of tips right now because a lot of the planning has changed, right? Because now if you want to unlock, you know, a D or an E stand, you have to buy A, B, and C ahead of time. You have to buy all of the sizes underneath it before unlocking the size that you want. So that changes a lot of the strategy in a bit. But ultimately, I mean, it's all about handling the planes and then coming back when the planes are going to be coming back as well in the beginning. And at first, I mean, it's like you're playing for 30 minutes and then you have no planes to handle. So you got to come back in another 2 hours, play another 30 minutes. And that's how you make the progress in the beginning. But then as you start leveling up, as you start unlocking more stands, then you can play for a little bit longer on each airport. But the premium pass could be worth it. I feel like I remember it being a little expensive, so it might be prohibitive because of how expensive it is. But you know, you get a lot of airplanes in your fleet. Fleet airplanes always give you more money than non-fleet airplanes. If you have airplanes that you can claim at all airports, might be a good idea to maybe claim a few of those airplanes into that airport, so that way you can get some wallers quicker. Usually if I do that, if I claim like this 77, or let's say you have a, you know, BCS1, right, all airports, and you claim it at MSY, what I would probably do is I'd probably send that on a random arrival to, you know, St. Martin or to Washington or to San Diego, because then that plane is guaranteed to come back. Yeah, you won't get the maximum rewards off the bat, but that plane is guaranteed to come back on a round trip instead of having to wait. And then once you start unlocking the planes from like the regular progress pass and from the premium pass, then you can you know, start to send it to other players. I'm like still like 10 minutes behind in chat, but I'm kind of catching up. Nay says, I got many normal contracts but few player contracts. You're trying to swap to player contracts. Should I terminate my normal contracts? So in that situation, I usually only terminate the normal contracts when you run out of contract capacity. And then what I also do is I look to see, hold on, let me go back and let this take off, and then we'll line this up. Yeah, what I'll do is, you know, for non-player contracts like these British Airways, right? So we have the E170. Yo, what's up, Mert? Thank you for resubscribing for 32 months, man. That's almost 3 years, bro. I appreciate that. All right, so Nay says, I got many normal contracts but few player contracts. You're trying to swap the player contracts. Should I terminate my normal contracts? So first off, if you still have contract capacity, there's no rush to cancel your non-player contracts, right? And what I end up doing is I end up canceling, when I do run into capacity limits, then I start canceling these contracts. But I'll cancel the contract once it's completed. So like for this A320, for example, I would wait until we're at 2 out of 2, and then I would cancel it so I could open up the capacity. That's what I typically do when it comes to canceling contracts. You know, that's why a lot of these 0 out of 1s, I end up just canceling it right away. But you know, this one here, 3 out of 7, right? So this plane, if I really needed the contract capacity, I would handle it 4 more times, get the rewards, and then I would cancel it. Just because I already made some progress. Now, if it was at 0 out of 7, then I might also consider canceling it right now. But first off, if you got capacity, just stick with it, man. Just get more player contracts. But as you start running out of capacity, then you can either buy more capacity with silver planes or gold planes, and then you can also just cancel the completed contracts. Or if you have a contract that's like at like 2 out of 10, that's a, you know, non-player contract, you can cancel those too, because like 8 handlings is a lot, right? It can be a lot. Adam Cack says also, when I run low on contract capacity, I buy the A stand. That's another thing too with contract capacity. If you're still not fully built out in your airport, you could always just buy another stand for $5,000. Or wait, an A stand is what, $2,000? I forget how much it was, but it's definitely pretty cheap to buy a new stand. Will there be more new planes for the next update? So in the dev blog, let me show you. We're going to go to World of Airports forum, which is where we're at right now. We're going to go to dev blog. We're going to go to dev blog 27. Wow, 45 new messages. So in the dev blog, the newest dev blog, they not only announced the newest airport, which is SCL, and give us some more information about generic airports. They told us about the wheel rotation and tilting, which is in the game now. They told us about the E-jets getting updated, which is in the game now. They also told us what's after, right? So after this update, there's going to be they're going to be working on the 747s, which includes the 747-8 or sorry, the 748 and the 748F. So that plane is going to get a remodel. And or the Fokker 7100. So those are planes that we can see potentially in the next update. They did not give us any timelines, so it also might not be in the next minor update. It might not be in the next major update, but those are the next planes that are going to get remodeled. Yeah, you just got the accomplishment for handling an E175. That's crazy, man. You must not have LHR. Pat said it would be nice if the Boeing Airbus packs had each type of plane. I'm with you. Yeah, that would be cool. Like instead of having 4 738s, you know, why not have a 734, a 752? You know, but I mean that would be a lot of planes. Or let us pick which planes we want, right? I don't know. I think that would be cool. Yeah, I would like that as well. Variety. What's up, Video Dissolution? Long time no see. When will the 777X family be added? Probably when it's being used in real life. I don't think it's currently like being used by an airline. Yo, what's up, Mike? Are you playing BKK? I do not have BKK on my stream account, but on my main account, I play BKK daily. So yeah, definitely playing BKK. Is the A330 worth to buy? Probably not. There's so many other planes that are like better, but at the same time, I think the A330 is not expensive. Let me just check. I mean, it's only 20 gold planes, so like for that reason, it might be worth it compared to like, if you compare it to like the remodel planes. Let's switch the size to E, or actually D, right? Is the E330? Oh, it's E. Oops. Right, this is 21 gold planes versus like the A359, which is 56, or the 772, which is 46, or the 767s. Which are D planes, but like I would consider that those more comparable. 36, 40 gold planes, right? So maybe because of how cheap they are, it might be worth it to buy compared to the other planes. But if you're looking at like amount of wallers you can make and what destinations it can go to, it's probably not the best. It's definitely not the best planes out there, you know. Got some contract requests. We got S-plane contract from Seabird. Nice livery, man. And a CRJ-2F, brand new airplane. And I think Meek Raven the Bronze Rum, that's a renewal. What airport do I want in WOA? I don't really have any requests right now. and I would be a little biased. You know, the only airports I've been to is like in US and Mexico and Caribbean. So I would pick one of those. Now he's in San Diego. It's frustrating with one runway. Should I depart one and arrive one, or which ratio do you recommend? What airport should I aim for next? We actually have to go to San Diego, so let's go to San Diego now, and I'll show you. I will show you. I got like 1 more hour here. All right, so for San Diego, it's a cloudy day here at San Diego today, again. So at San Diego, oh good, all these planes have been accepted, thank goodness. At San Diego, right? I'm going to use the 2D map. It is a little tough because it's only one runway, especially when you're coming from like Washington, where you have 2 runways. It can feel a little complicated, right? But typically what I'll end up doing, let me first turn on the approach manager. Typically what I'll do is I'll set the arrival to departure ratio to heavily skew and to prefer arrivals over departures. Now, once my departure queue, because the planes, when they have to depart, they take this path right here, and then they wait right here at the top of the at the bottom of the runway, right? So once this queue ends up getting backed up to like this point right here, that's when I'll start making it almost 1-to-1, where 1 arrival and 1 departure. But once the queue starts kind of backing up like over here, or even over past the cargo area, that's when I'll start to prefer more departures. As far as like what ratio should you do when like we're at this middle area right here, I'm usually doing like 2-to-1, 2 arrivals, 1 departure, or sometimes 3-to-1. And remember too, I'm not always activating the departure manager, so sometimes I'm just also manually doing departures myself. So that doesn't even have to utilize the ratio at all. So yeah, that's what I do here at San Diego. And we're here at San Diego now, because at San Diego, man, we are pretty close to unlocking Muscat. We have to reach level 54, and we're level 49, really close to level 50, only what, 100 XP to go, which is really like 1 plane, right? 1 completed plane. So let's see if we got hearted planes. I always especially on this account, I love hearting the planes that are pretty much complete, you know, and anything that's at 7 out of 10 or higher, I'm hearting. Any special planes like this plane right here, I'm hearting, you know, because I want to make sure we get those special planes, you know. Any Concords, I'm hearting, you know, that's a special plane. Which reminds me, I need to get the Concorde landed here, but we'll have to wait for these planes to get handled. The fog is gone. Yes, yes. It's a miracle. It's funny because one of the features I do wish like we had in the game is an option to like turn off the weather effects, especially like when you got like a deep fog like we just had when we first came in here. It's like, man, I wish we could turn off that fog. And I mean, I guess I guess God is watching, right? Because the game uses real life weather for the weather that you see in the game. So when you first go into an airport, it's typically going to match exactly the weather. That's not exactly, but it's going to match the general weather that's being reported through METARs, right? What's up, Ruben? WOA forgot Africa exists? Well, I mean, you could say the same thing about South America before GRU, right? You could say the same thing about Australia before Sydney. You know, World of Airports specifically mentioned that they are working on getting more airports into the game that are around the world, right? So that way they can live up to their name, World of Airports. So I know the next airport is going to be SCL, but I mean, look at the dev blog, right? It's mainly because it's a gift to one of their team members who is recovering from serious health issues. What a nice thing for World Airports to do for like their coworker or team member. But also we all get an airport out of that. I know, you know, we want to see airports around the world and we want to see Africa, but I'm sure something's being worked on. What's your favorite plane you flew on in real life? I mean, I do like the 738 Max. They just have like such great seats. I've only flown on United, so I've only flew United, so it's hard to say. I haven't flown on any like wide bodies. I haven't flown on any of the D, E, or F size planes in world airports, so I really want to do that in the next like 2 years, be on one of those larger planes. US Coast Guard, nice. So weird being able to land a 764 over here though. This is one of the things I wish more airports had, was is how like those D planes, like a 764, there are D stands over here, right? That's a D stand, that's a D stand. I wish more airports in world airports had that capability, because it actually makes San Diego not terrible. Finally, there we go. We got 4 minutes there, 4 minutes there, 9, and then 15. Any tips for Innsbruck? Innsbruck's a rough airport. Innsbruck is rough. You really want to like have maybe a few, like 1 or 2 passenger, 1 or 2 cargo contracts. Cargo will get you the most XP, but I think Innsbruck now has 2 cargo stands, or 2 stands that are capable of handling cargo planes, so that could help you out. Oh, that's funny. What else at Innsbruck? The first 10 levels or so, maybe even first 10 levels, you want to do a mix of player planes and non-player planes. And then once you're like past like level 10 to 15, then you definitely want to do more player contracts. Now, it's also, especially if you're only at Innsbruck, it's very tough as a new player to get contracts to your Innsbruck. There's plenty of people willing to send, but most players are only going to send you one or 2 planes. They're not going to send you a ton of planes, because they need to see, like, are you actually going to play the game? And that goes into the other suggestion here, right, from Loro123Q, is an indicator for inactive contracts, right? Because there's sometimes where we have people who just stop playing, and now we have no idea as the person who owns the plane, if you're, how long has it been since you last played. So yeah, Innsbruck's a little tough because of multiple reasons, but focus on leveling up by getting a combination of player planes, fleet planes, and non-player planes. By doing all 3, you're gonna have a good mix. If you can get the premium pass, that will help you as well, because same thing as with St. Martin. If you have more handling crew, that means you can handle more planes at once. And if you have more contract capacity, that means you can accept more planes at once. Which means that, let's say overnight, you go to sleep, right? And everybody handles their planes. That means you have more planes to handle in the morning, which is going to be better for you. Cats, you got the conch at GRU before the A388. Nice. Mike doesn't like playing airports when they're fogged. I know. I was so sad when I first saw the fog, and then it cleared up like 2 minutes later. Can you connect with BKK from Innsbruck? That's pretty cool, actually. I didn't realize that. Kat said it's so annoying when people beg for planes, and when I send, they never ever handle. Yeah, isn't that that's another thing that happens a lot too? Is like, a lot happens a lot with the Innsbruck players too. This is why, I mean, it has nothing to do with like a specific player, a specific player. It just has to do with like new players in general, because, and that's where it goes with, like, we never know if you're going to actually play the game. Yeah, you're playing the game today, but are you going to play the game tomorrow? That's the question, because you're not going to get rewards for playing the game, for handling the plane once. You have to handle the plane 10 times to get your rewards. So it's not something that like you can do instantly, and we want to play with other people who are going to be playing as well. TJ's red flag is when someone says, "I need planes." Yeah. I mean, it's tough too, because you can only do like a local contract every hour. So that's another way you can get more planes, by doing coming back every hour and accepting the local contract. I know I did that at LHR when the airport was brand new. I accepted a bunch of new local contracts just so I can make some leveling up progress. 39 crew good for Innsbruck. I forget what's a good amount, but I mean, that should work. I mean, if you think about it though, right? A 752, which you only have like 2 or 3 stands, right? You're gonna need 8 crew for a 752 to handle it at max speed, which is still gonna take 8 minutes, at least here at San Diego. You have an A320, also 6 or 7 handling crew, and it takes 6 minutes. So just that alone is 15, which is almost half of your 39 that you're talking about. So, but then you're also handling a lot more small planes, right? So small planes only need 3 or 4 handling crew, maybe 5 handling crew for a B463. So yeah, you got to make sure you're also getting a good balance of planes that are landing and departing. And I always like to have the approach manager on. The approach manager is just so much faster than I am. That said, some people need to understand that you can't become player airport instantly. That is true. Yep. I know it's usually my tip in order to level up fast, but is to like get more player planes. But like in a brand new airport, you can't be accepting an A388 right off the bat anymore. It's just not possible. You have to buy the A stand, you have to buy the B stand, C, D, E, F, and then you can finally land this plane. And like somebody said earlier, that can cost $52,000. That's gonna be really tough in the beginning. Let's say but at Innsbruck, you're still gonna run into Waller's money issues, so not much changes there. Right, let's check out my landing planes. Concorde. Here's a Concorde. Concorde always gets priority because the Concorde has a benefit where the round trip is much faster than any other plane. So a round trip from San Diego to Washington is 1 hour 3 minutes. Now I don't think I'm going to be able to handle this plane multiple times this stream, but in certain streams in certain airports, I could certain contracts, destinations, we can really get like 2, 3, 4 handlings out of one single Concorde, when other planes we would only get one handling out of that other plane. So I really like the Concorde for that, and that's why I also made it a rule, I guess, that people do not have to pay for a contract request if they're sending me a Concorde. Whereas all the other contract requests, you do have to kind of purchase it. It's free to purchase. You just have to watch on Twitch, and then you get rewards on Twitch from it. But you do have to purchase it on Twitch in order to get the contract approved. But Concords, I'm accepting them for free. Don't forget to look at the E-Jets. Oh yeah, it's true. We got this one pending request though. Thank you for the reminder. I'll try to remember that. You had a GRU level and you were at level 3 and you had the random contract as an A380. Isn't that the worst? Like, I still accept them, but now it's taking up a contract capacity for like a couple days, you know? It's like, oh no, it's taking up a capacity. But the cool thing with GRU is that there's so many like stands there that you could always, it was pretty easy for me to buy more contract capacity and buy more handling crew. It was harder for me to unlock like my first few F stands, but to make up for that one contract capacity, I could just easily buy an A stand somewhere else. Okay, I think what we're gonna do here is, that is the Concorde. Great. Okay, I was going to pause the approach manager because I wasn't sure if the Concorde was landing or not. I do have the approach manager set to prefer favorited airplanes. I pretty much always have this turned on because I always want my favorite airplanes to land first. But sometimes I don't have the arrival sequence turned on. And it really depends on like the way I'm playing that day. Sometimes if I'm like, especially if I'm manually assigning stands, then I sometimes turn off the arrival sequence. That way we can, planes will land in the order I assigned them in. Of course, preferring favorited airplanes. But in San Diego, I think it makes a lot of sense to have the F, E, and D planes land first. And G. You can have G on top if you want, but there's not a... The G plane is the A225, and I don't think I've ever seen it at San Diego, so I don't think we have to worry about G planes. But having the F, E, and D planes land first makes a lot of sense at San Diego because there's not a lot of those stands available. So we want to get those planes in first, and we also want to get them out first, right? Get them in and out as soon as possible. So I always try to put the maximum number of handling crew on each of these planes. That way we can get them handled as fast as possible. Now, I know on these other planes here, oh, look at this. Take a look. I know on these other planes here, I typically have been setting up like for maximum as well. But once all like the D, E, and F planes are actually there, I'm not going to want to use max handling crew. So let's take a look. Look at that. Oh, they slide open. Cool. And it's Cat's plane. What's up, Cats? Yo, what's up, Rick Rashid? Jamal France is back. Daniel wants a plane to Prague. Nice. How many days did you play to graduate Innsbruck? I think it took me like 3 months of playing on stream, which is like what, 12 days if you look at it. I also did almost exclusively player contracts though, and it is a lot. It's, how do I word this? It's like easier to progress player contracts when you're only playing once a week in some ways, because I know, well, I expect other players to be playing at least once a week as well. So it's like every week I would be making some progress. So it actually probably took me more than 12. Actually, some of these planes I would get multiple times per stream too, because Innsbruck's pretty close to Prague. You know, it's pretty close to LHR and Leipzig. So some of these contracts we were able to handle multiple times in a single stream. What else? I have to look to see how long it actually took. I don't know if it took me 12. I feel like it actually took me longer. This update also added the cargo handling equipment for the added gate. Nice. Nothing but a G thing. What happens if all of our airports is max level? What would we do? Does that mean you beat the game? Look at this, Seabirds Club Airline with the 767 Boeing. Let's go. I didn't even notice. This is the second time I'm handling it with the Boeing livery. Let's go. Look at that. The cargo hold. So, what would you do once all your airports are max level? See, I really enjoy leveling up airports. That's like one of the fun things I like about World of Airports, and I think just in games in general, I really do like leveling up. That's why I play like RPGs, role-playing games, because they usually have like a leveling up system. And I wish World of Airports had like this sort of system where we could level up indefinitely. You know, like we can continue to level up over and over again. I know it's not something that exists right now. I wish it existed. But what do you do right now when all your airports are max level? For me, I then start focusing on like building up my silver planes and getting more contract capacity. So if all your airports are max level, you're probably not struggling on silver planes, because you probably have a lot of contracts and not necessarily other players, but just contracts in general. So you're probably getting some good rewards on your contracts at this point. So I would probably just focus on turning my 10 gold planes or my 10,000 silver planes to 10 gold planes every week. And then I would also focus on being able to do this, which is 1,500 silver planes for 1 gold plane. That's 17 gold planes per week you can earn. So that's one thing I would focus on doing. Another thing I would do is probably I currently do is I get more contract capacity for those airports. That way I'm spending my silver planes, because I'm still spending them faster. I'm still spending them slower than I'm earning them. So, and then I just keep working on player contracts. I try to help out new players, and players who are playing a new airport for them. So what that means is, like, I think somebody here just unlocked GRU, right? So I would try to set up a contract to them, so that way I can help them with leveling up their GRU. Things like that is what I like to do. We reached level 50 here, and the good news with that is next week we're definitely going to have 10,000 silver planes. So that makes me happy. I don't have to stress out about getting 10 gold planes for free. Let's go ahead and turn this on. Let's see, 2D map, how you looking? Boarding complete. Where's this other plane? Do I need to assign a plane? Oh, I need to assign a plane. Sad. So here at San Diego, I actually have all of my D, E, and F planes hearted, I'm pretty sure. And I have that so that way it's easier for me to filter, because all I have to do is go to the favorited. Yeah, I didn't even have it filtered before. All I have to do is go to the favorited airplanes, and I can see which ones are D, E, and F size, especially when one of the gates are open. So I know in all my other airports, I also only favorite the planes that are at 7 or more handlings. At this airport, I also favor, and other, like even Bari is another airport where I'll favorite the larger planes. So that way, one, since I have the approach manager turned on, it'll prefer landing that plane even if I don't have the arrival sequence on. And two, it's easier for me to filter the list. So let's filter the list. Why is this one not hearted? What the? We got Hammy at 8 out of 10. Meek Raven. So we will do Hammy to Washington. Yeah, Hammy to Washington. 8388. It has 3 minutes. This has 11 minutes. And oh, did I accept another 388 to land as well? Is that what happened? No. Rick Rashid, I'm sorry to hear you have COVID, bro. Autofan, have you handled my plane yet? I don't know, man. I don't think so. I don't think I've seen your plane on this account at all. Looks like the door just slid flush. Yeah, you're right, Mike. It should pop out a little bit and then slide, right? Contract with Cats has been finished. Nice. So close to another 10,000. Do you notice any difference in speed up managers work? Because I didn't notice any difference. Only in cost. I'm not sure if that was mentioned in any recent patch notes. If you're talking about 3.0 and how the tower managers have increased in cost, I mean, that is true, but we also got more features. As far as like the speed up, it's always been a minimal change, very hard to notice the difference between mild, medium, and what the 3 speeds that we have available. Very hard to tell a difference, but I think there is a difference. As far as, you know, we got the approach departure ratio, we have the arrival sequence, we have, you know, the priority for the delivery manager, prioritizing which planes which plane types they should land first, prioritizing which size they should land first. Departure has the approach departure ratio, and departure now also handles the entire takeoff clearance. So not only do you have to line up, but you also have to tell the plane to take off, and departure will do both of that for you. I'm pretty sure the takeoff button there is now mainly because they wanted planes don't depart from your airport until you hit that takeoff button. So whereas in the past they would take off on pushback. What else? Nah, I don't know if what else you mean by speed up though, Vubu. I activate a tower approach the fastest the airplane landing speed increase. So let's read it, right? It says here, speeds up landing. So yeah, I mean, it will speed up the landing, but if you're a new player and you don't have a lot of silver planes, the speed is very minimal. I know before 3.0, it would say 2%, 4%, and 6%. And then I did a side-by-side comparison, and especially at like Innsbruck, you probably won't even notice much of a difference because planes are not spending a lot of time landing. They're spending more time taxiing, and taxiing is handled by the ground manager, which speeds up taxiing. But even still, even with the ground manager active, with the speed ups that it intrinsically has, it's not a lot. I've not noticed the wheels turning yet. Yeah, I always have a hard time catching planes when they land. Like, there's no filter for landing planes either. If we beat the game, we could have fun, like, and well, not being grinding or buying planes. I guess. I mean, there's always something to grind for, right? That's the way I think about it. There's always something to grind for in this game. I switched the ratio back down to 1-to-1 because you see how long this queue's getting? We're actually starting to... Actually, I'm going to do a 2-to-1 now. We're actually starting to block the cargo stands here. And we're actually getting pretty close to blocking the small stands. The small planes from exiting. So we're going to let 2 planes depart for everyone that lands. And I think all these planes are going to the runway. That's one thing I miss about the radar, the old radar. The old radar, you could tell which ones were departing and which ones were arriving. And here, you can't tell any difference. I can't tell any difference, I should say. What's up, Alfie? It's just Alfie. Ever played Real Flight Simulator? If so, will you stream it? I've never actually. No, I haven't. I haven't played it. Maybe I have it installed. Real. I don't have it installed. There was this game I was invited to play, but it wasn't like a sponsored stream, so I'm like hesitating on it. But there's this new game that was like released on Steam. It's not released, sorry. It's a demo that's on Steam. Let me find a name. And the developers or the marketing team, but they sent me an email to my Phat Airlines email address. The game is called Worldwide Rush. They invited me to play the game. And the game is not available yet. It's not released, but there is a demo that's out. So I was thinking about one day maybe streaming that game on Phat Airlines. We will see. I have a lot of fun playing World of Airports though, especially talking to you guys. I know, and answering your questions and making your gaming better. That makes me happy. But like, yeah, maybe I do have to expand my horizons, you know? What airport do you recommend I next get? I don't recommend any airport to unlock. That is typically the last thing I recommend people to use to spend their gold planes on. There's so many things in the game that you can unlock. Yo, thank you for the support. Appreciate that. 16,000. Thank you so much, man. So yeah, there's so many things in the game that you can get for free, and airports is one of the things that you can get for free, right? There's also, actually, there's some liveries you can get for free even without a premium pass, but there are some things in the game that you can get for free and you don't have to buy it. So, in my opinion, why are you going to buy an airport when you can reach level 54 here at San Diego and get Muscat for free? So I'm not going to pay for Muscat. I'm going to play San Diego. And I know gamers, we don't like playing games. We don't want to level up. We don't want to have to play the game. We want to just get the instant reward now. I get it. I'm a gamer too. But why pay for an airport that you can get for free? Instead, buy a premium pass. That way leveling up is a lot easier. It's a little bit faster. Instead, unlock a plane model. That way you're making more wallers on every single handling of your plane. Buy a livery. A livery doesn't really benefit your game, but it makes your planes look pretty cool. There's so many things that you can't get for free in this game that you can only get with gold planes, that when I hear somebody wanting to unlock an airport or asking me like what airport do I recommend, that's why I don't recommend airports. Now, with that being said, I know some people still want to unlock airports, right? So I will give you recommendations anyways, but let it be known, I don't recommend unlocking airports. So St. Martin is a good option. St. Martin is a good option because of two reasons. One, it's cheap. It's only like 4 gold planes. And reason number 2 is because it helps you make progress on like the second half of the new airports, right? So if you're at Innsbruck and you only have Innsbruck unlocked, if you have also St. Martin unlocked, then you can work through Innsbruck and St. Martin at the same time. And then once you finish with Innsbruck, or once you level up Innsbruck, you get Bari. Once you level up at St. Martin, which is bad part about unlocking St. Martin, is that it's very hard to level up. It's a very high level you need to reach at St. Martin in order to get LHR. Unlike Innsbruck or Bari, where it's a lower level to unlock the next airport. So you can when you're finished, or when you're leveling up at St. Martin, you get to unlock LHR afterwards. So that is that's some great progress you can make. And then you can keep going through all those airports until you're at the latest airport. Other airports that I enjoy, I would not recommend unlocking Washington. Even though Washington is such a great airport and a lot of fun, I feel like it's pretty easy to level up through Innsbruck, Bari, and Prague in order to unlock Washington. And I think Washington is like 18 or 20 gold planes. There are probably other airports you could unlock instead. Muscat is a great airport, but I think it's greater if you have larger planes unlocked already in your fleet. So if you have larger planes that you can use, Muscat can really benefit from that. Same thing with BKK, Bangkok. Really good airport. That one has 3 active runways that you can use in the game, and it benefits from having fleet planes. And BKK is also you still have other airports to unlock afterwards. If you're going to unlock Muscat, don't unlock Leipzig, okay? Because after Muscat comes Leipzig. Leipzig is a good airport too. The main problem with Leipzig is that the following airport that follows Leipzig is St. Martin, which is only 4 gold planes. But Leipzig is cool. It's a cargo airport. Cargo planes get you more XP, so I feel like it's a faster airport to level. You got BKK. LHR also is a good consideration, especially if you didn't unlock St. Martin. LHR, the main bad part about LHR is that there's 2 runways, but one runway is dedicated for arrivals and another runway is dedicated for departures. So that can really slow you down a little bit. It could really slow you down. So yeah. But it has so many stands, it has so much contract capacity and so much handling crew that in some ways that doesn't really matter as much. But for some people it matters a lot. So that's why I mention it. To me, it's still one of my daily airports. And I think those are the airports I would really recommend for leveling up fast, at least. Because when you're unlocking an airport, you probably want to level up the airport quicker, so that way you can get to the next airport and unlock the next airport for free. That's the way I think about things, and that's the way I approach it. So everybody has their own strategy or the way they want to approach things in World of Airports, and that's just the way I do it. Look at this, a 343 and a livery. Let's go. And we only got 3 more levels to go. We got 2 levels today at San Diego, and we're probably going to get close to another one. This one's going to be finished contract. That one's not going to be finished, and this one's not going to be finished. And I think we have maybe one more plane that might be close to finishing, or that might be finishing. Yeah. We have a cargo plane that's going to be landing here. Is it this one? No, this one's on final. We have another cargo plane that's going to get parked over here. So, and how much XP do we need? 500. No, we're not going to get another level today, but we're going to get pretty close. Wait. Oh, this is on final. It is this cargo plane. Why don't they use the whole runway to take off at SAN? I don't think most airplanes use the whole runway to take off at any airport unless it's absolutely necessary. Yeah, that's another. Brian said get all plane contracts, like every plane in Woapedia. That might be another thing I might end up doing, but I just like doing player contracts, so I don't really need to. Woapedia doesn't interest me for some reason. Well, MW, no worries about resending your planes. I hope your dad recovers. Is that the... Is it turning? Maybe it needs to be in this point of view. Is that what you mean? I don't know. See, that's why I'm not like a huge fan of like those like minor graphical updates, because like maybe it could be just me, like an aviation noob when it comes to like planes themselves, but like I don't even like I can't even notice when it happens. I mean, I did notice when like the landing gear retracts, right? So like I guess I noticed that, but like some of these features I don't even know how to get there. Here we go. This plane is going to be complete. This is going to get me 165 XP. And then we have, I think, one over here. How much? One? No, two. Of this one over here, which is done now, 119. That's pretty good, man. I think next week we'll play more San Diego, because we got a lot of contracts here that are like 9, are going to be at 9 out of 10. Like this one's at 9 out of 10 after this handling. This is at 9 out of 10. This one's going to be at 9 out of 10. So I'm wondering if we can unlock Muscat in the next like 2 or 3 streams. If we can unlock it next stream, that would be even more fantastic. But we got a lot of progress to go with some of these planes. A lot of progress to go. Go ahead and just assign them. I hope I didn't assign it to a D stand. That would stink. Let's go. I'm at 12,000 silver planes. Let's go. I kind of cheated a little bit, right? Because we got the 8,000 silver planes here, but even still 4,000 silver planes from San Diego, not bad at all. On top of this, well, not including these 8,000. And then 150 out of 519. This next level is not exciting, only 10,000 Wallers. Not an exciting reward for me anymore. Not at these levels. The early levels, I would get excited for that XP. Oh, here's a plane from GRU, so let's go ahead and land that one. But actually, let me check to see if we have any that are also close to completion. This one's at 7 out of 10. This one should be hearted. This one's at 7 out of 10. Should be hearted. That's a D plane. We're not gonna land that yet. 0 out of 10. Right, so let's go back to the hearted planes. 7 out of 10. Hammy to Sun. Here we go. We're gonna do this one because it's from GRU. So I always like to help out my people at GRU. Because I know most people who are playing GRU are still leveling it up. I know we're gonna get to a certain point where I'm just gonna unheart GRU planes again, but for now they're still hearted. Yo, what's up, Dinju? Nice to see you. Dara says, I will disagree with Phat. Unlock if you want. Well, exactly. I mean, if you're buying gold planes, definitely 100%, you know, do what you want with your money. I'm not a financial advisor, you know? But if you're free to play, I would strongly dissuade you and tell you to not consider unlocking airports if you're free to play. If you're buying gold planes, yeah, go ahead, unlock airports, man. If you're free to play though, your gold planes elsewhere. You'll only get 500 gold planes per week if you get 10,000 or 520 gold planes per year per week. Imagine 500 gold planes per week. Oh my gosh. You only get 520 gold planes per year for free if you have 10,000 silver planes. Pretty amazing actually that they give you so, like, that you're able to get so many gold planes for free. Like, think about that, man. In 2 years you can unlock a Concorde for free. Or actually, what, sooner, right? Because you can actually get 17 gold planes for free per week, which is 884 per year if you were playing every single day and you didn't miss a day, which is not likely because the timer is a strict 24 hours and not like a midnight to midnight timer. I wish the timers for the plane purchases, the gold airplane purchases, were not like a strict 7-day timer, but more of like a Sunday to Sunday timer. Like if you bought it on Saturday, then you could buy it again on Sunday, but you have to wait again until next Sunday, you know? I wish it was like a 7-day, like a week timer versus a strict 7-day timer. I feel like that would be a lot better for a lot of people. Same thing with the one gold plane. If it was on a daily timer and not on a 24-hour timer, I would like that better too, because then, you know, I could log in at 11:59, buy one gold plane, and then at 12:01 I could buy another one. Yes, you know, I think it would still function exactly the same though. You want to see the in-flight view again? Oh yeah, let's take a look. Let's go. See what hearted planes we have. We have a Concorde over here with Hammy going over to US. Very cloudy. And this is the only place where we actually get to see the bottom of the plane. Like everywhere else, we're always looking at the top or the sides, but only here do we get to see the bottom. How do you guys like this view, right? Makes me feel like I'm on the ground. Let's see what else we have. We have a 77 WF. What's next? We're gonna look at a A388. Yes, we are. Man, I would love to be on an A388. Like, that thing is so big. Oh my. Imagine if the F planes that are now D planes take all the runway at Innsbruck. That'd be interesting, right? If airplanes had to backtrack at Innsbruck. They fixed the gold plane glitch? Oh no. Yeah, at GRU I have like I have a few more levels to go. I think 3 more levels to go until I'm maxed. We're gonna land my plane because I want those wallers. You got Seabird. Is that a renewal, bro? Gonna do Hammy or Mert first. Hammy, because that gets me more money. All right, we got. Oh, okay. So that's blinking because its timer's running out there. That's fine. We got 10 more minutes, guys. See, Sarah, I disagree with you though. If you, Sarah says, if you are a free-to-play player, you can still unlock airports, invest from weekly collection of gold planes. Now, I mean, that is technically true, but I think that's a bad, very bad use of your gold planes as a free player. Very bad. Very bad use of your gold planes as a free player. If you're a free player, you need to unlock all the things you can for free, right? You can't be spending gold planes when you only have a limited number of gold planes you can earn every week. So you can't be just spending them because you have them. You need to spend it on things you can't get for free, which are premium passes, which are airplane models, which are certain airplane liveries. Those are the things you can't unlock. If you're a free-to-play player, you should definitely never ever spend your gold planes on wallers. I never even recommend that. I think handling crew is way too expensive for a free-to-play player. A free-to-play player should also only be using silver planes to add contract capacity, not gold planes. So yeah, I disagree. I know it's technically possible, but I strongly discourage it because I think by people doing that, they're just putting themselves a little bit behind in some ways. But unless like you intend on playing an airport daily, like if you unlock LHR with gold planes and you play that every single day, or you unlock BKK, play it every single day, then maybe you could earn more silver planes easier. That could be a benefit out of it, but that goes for that kind of changes from player to player, right? Not all players are going to be like playing like that. France unlocked an A380 and 2 Es, including 1 cargo, an A21NX, and a premium pass on 2 airports. Nice, bro. A21NX, solid plane. It really can go to distance, right? You can go to IAD, from IAD to like Innsbruck. So that's a pretty cool plane to have in your fleet. All right, we're not gonna let more planes take off. There's no urgency needed there. This plane has a finished contract. This one's almost done with Nathan Guarino. Wizzy is renewing. That one is handling. And then 1 out of 10, 8 out of 10. So we're gonna make sure that 8 out of 10 leaves. And in this one, I hope we can get this to leave too. It's gonna take more than 10 minutes though. More than what? How much time do we have? 6 minutes. But yeah, made some great progress here. but we're not gonna. It's gonna take maybe like 3 weeks to get to the next airport, or three more times of me playing San Diego, and I can't just play San Diego for like an hour, although it's kind of working because we're handling a ton of our larger planes in 1 hour. We still have a few that we didn't handle, we didn't land, and we still have a lot of seaplanes that didn't land as well. So maybe next time we'll start with San Diego, so that way we can maybe, you know, handle the Concorde more than once, and also get all these other C and B planes landed. I think that could help a lot. Nice. France unlocked LHR with gold planes. You're level 69 in 1.5 months. Let's go. You want the premium pass? Dinju wants the premium pass at IAD. The premium pass at IAD is just, it's hard to recommend because of its price, but I'm pretty sure the extra handling crew does make a big difference. I mean, ultimately on my main account though, I did end up, I do buy extra handling crew. Because for me, I want to be more handling crew means the less time I have to spend at the airport, which also means that I can play more airports and handle more airplanes at the same in the same, you know, 24-hour day. So for me, it's worth it, especially with the massive number of contracts that I have. I do also sometimes purchase the silver plane handling crew as well, but this 45 gold planes for 5 handling crew and a 10 for 1 have a 24-hour cooldown. So definitely can't just like keep buying it over and over again. Sometimes I wish we could. So you have, when you open the game, you select Washington and the game crashes. Let's see what the forum says. They have a support and help here, right? And I think they say something about that. Let me get rid of that. We're going to go to answers. Does it say anything about this? What can I do if the game crashes or doesn't load? So if the game crashes during gameplay, try setting graphic quality to fast. So you can do that by going to your menu up here. Same menu you have on the main menu screen before you load in. Go to game settings, and you can change the graphics to fast. All right. And then it says choosing balanced or pretty can cause instability on device with limited performance. And there we go. You also check your internet connection issues. If you have a firewall or router restrictions blocking game connections. If you have ad blocking, that could interfere as well. If there's limited Google service access in your country, that will cause a problem. Most of these don't sound like a one airport issue, all right? Or weak or unstable Wi-Fi or mobile data during loading. You can change your Wi-Fi network. You can change your software or update your security software or VPN. And then you can also clear your device cache. So if your device has low free storage space, this can happen. A crash can happen if your cache is overloaded, or if too many apps are running in the background. So you can free up space and close background apps to help the game run more smoothly. Also, if you have an outdated app or system, that can also cause crashes. In many cases, crashes are caused by external restrictions and cannot be fixed from within the game. So yeah, try it fast. I would also maybe turn off 3D landscapes if you're crashing as well. I'm surprised they don't mention it, but maybe that doesn't cause any crashes, but maybe that could help you as well. Good luck. You luck. There we go, another reward. If we can get 2 more cargo planes landed here. So that 13 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 minute, 3 minutes. All right. Yeah, let's see if we can get 2 more cargo planes landed. Any hearted cargo planes? This is a hearted one, but it only has one handling. This is at 7. That needs to be hearted 100%. This is at 3 out of 10. And that's at 1 out of 10. 3 out of 10, you win. See you later, Dinju. Thanks for being here. Zyrox, what's up, man? Yeah, we're about to head out as well ourselves. It was a really great stream today. We talked about World Airports 3.0.3. We got 10,000. We got to 10,000 silver planes at LHR, and now we got 13,000 ready for next Saturday. So that's going to be fantastic. We got a lot of progress here at San Diego. We went from 49 to 51. So we got 2 levels today, which is fantastic. Maybe we can do that again next stream. We get 2 levels in one stream. I don't know. Probably not. But if we do, that'd be fantastic because we are just so close to unlocking Muscat. So we're going to see a lot more San Diego for the next couple of weeks because I would love to start a brand new Muscat. Especially since with the new 3.0 gaming 3.0 stand requirements, like now with version 3.0, you have to buy all the sizes underneath. So that means if you have a D stand or a C stand, you have to buy A, B before you can unlock C. So you have to buy all of the smaller stand sizes before you buy, in order to buy the big one. So I am looking forward to that at Muscat, seeing how the strategy changes there, and playing it from week to week. Muscat's also going to be a cool airport because it's another great airport for contracts, especially with the larger planes. But it's going to be a while before we can handle larger planes at Muscat, right? Because the larger planes at Muscat, we're gonna have a problem because of the wallers we need in order to unlock the stands. So yeah, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thanks for all your questions, and thank you for all the support. Shout out, here are my credits, right? Shout out to Voitando, to Kamikaze, to TJ, Armando, to can't say your name, but person who just started WOA in Innsbruck at level 34. Thank you for the super chat there. Mert, thank you for the support as well. And all you guys who are just here viewing and watching and enjoying the stream, thank you for being here. Appreciate all the support. Appreciate you guys being here. Join the Phat Airlines Discord. I know I didn't talk about it much either, the phatairlines.com newsletter, but join the newsletter as well. We got some, I know I said last week we're going to have giveaways, but I ran into some issues. What happened with the giveaways is my email is still set up for contracts, guaranteed contracts, and I didn't set one up for email giveaways. I have a template already set up, but it doesn't have the right parameters set for it. So I'm going to be doing a giveaway on the phatairlines.com newsletter that is for, I think, 50 or maybe 70. I forget what the number is, but it's going to be at least 50 77 Ws from LHR. I think it's 77 Ws. It's going to be a large plane. It's going to be like an E plane. It's going to be an expensive one too. But we are going to have 50 people who respond back within like 7 days are going to get selected to win. It's similar to like our Discord giveaways, except it's through email. So you don't have to be on Discord. Everybody has an email. So that's what I like about our email contract giveaways. But yeah, everybody, thank you so much for being here. Phat Airlines Discord, phatairlines.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, join the membership, become a VIP. That's all greatly appreciated. All right, guys, peace out. Bye to France. Bye to Space Bricks. When is the new plane contract from the newsletter coming? Soon. I'm I'm gonna stop giving timelines because I keep missing my own timelines. I'm like the World Airports devs now. I keep missing my own timelines when it comes to it because I wanted to do it on Monday, but then Monday happened and I couldn't do it. I didn't finish it actually. I did do some of it. I didn't finish it. But the next one's gonna be a giveaway, so it's gonna be like a contest. It's not gonna be a guarantee because I'm still working on the St. Martin contracts, which is where this idea from Loro 123Q would be fantastic, where if planes don't have to block stands while they're waiting for acceptance, that would be amazing for my contracts and my giveaways. But yeah, can that fly to GRU? It's gonna have a list of all the airports it can fly to, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, LHR is like one of the most versatile airports. Like the only airport it cannot send to, I'm pretty sure, is Sydney. But all the other airports in the world it can send to so far. So yeah, that's why I picked LHR, and that's why I picked like I forget which plane model it is, but I did want to make sure it can go to MSY and GRU. Those were two of the airports I wanted it to go to, so that way we can help out those players who are still at like the last two airports. Great question. All right, see you later, Cats. See you, France. See you, Hidden. See you, Zyrox. See you, TJ. See you, Hockey Fan. Hammy, shout out to the mods, Hammy and Mike. Thank you so much for being here and for your help. See you later, Snowyak. See you later, Sarah. Sarah, appreciate your disagreements. I appreciate it. Like, it's always good to have other perspectives, so appreciate that. Who else? Sammy, peace out. Mert, see ya. Dryan, see ya. Hockey Fan, peace. Llama, see you. Raptor, peace out, man. France asked if I like grinding. Yes. Yes and no. It depends. For me, it depends. Yeah. Didn't you see? All right. And who's that? Ride RLD Memories. Peace out, man. All right, guys. You enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I will see you guys next Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. IAD time. All right, guys. Peace out. Have a good one. Peace.